Hello folks, it's Eko, and today we're going to be talking about my new automated rolling door design. So the concept of this is that you have a hidden motion sensor that is underneath in a series of grates that allows you bi-directional opening of a doorway. And it has some protections in it so that the zombies can't see it. And then we've got some lighting effects from below just to give some additional aesthetic and good looks to it. Now, not only can you use this with rolling doors, but you can also use this with the garage doors. You could also use this with the drawbridge, though it'd be much more complicated. So now that you have the idea, let's show you how it works and teach you how to build it. So before we jump into the how, I'm going to talk a little bit about the why. On my previous video on automated drawbridges, a lot of people said, you know, I really don't want motion sensors on the inside of my base because it's going to cause the drawbridge to trigger all the time, and why don't you use trigger plates? And I said, that's a brilliant idea, but there's one huge problem with the trigger plates. When you drive over them in a vehicle, they don't do anything. Now, I'm not sure what the design concept on this was, but in any case, these don't really function well for vehicles. So in order to use these, you actually have to pop out of your vehicle, come step on it, get back in your vehicle, and then drive out of your base. Additionally, one of the other things that people mentioned is, hey, can you do other things than just open the door and turn on some lights? And I said, I see where you're going with this and I like it. So let's just show you that scenario here. So I've come up with a new design and I'm going to walk you through how it works. But before I do it, I am going to pop out of my car and I'm going to bring us in some friends. So let's just bring in a quick whatever, some Orleans. Let her hang out over there, make a little pyramid. So we'll say, excuse me, we're heading into our base, Arlene. We're just going to run over a few of you. And then we're going to head on in. And we'd like some cover as we're coming into the base. So this lets us get into the base. Let this guy deal with any of the Arlenes that are coming along. And we're nice and safe. So let me show you how this is all wired up. And then I've got a space over here where I will actually connect everything and show you the whole walkthrough of how to do this. Let me walk you through the whole setup of this so that you get the idea. So much like any power type of setup, or any type of electrical setup, you're going to start with a power source. So you're going to either use a battery bank or a generator or something along those lines. So in this case, I'm going to use a battery bank, and I just threw a couple batteries in there just to make this super easy. And I go from the battery bank to a switch, and that's going to allow the scenario where if I want to, when this is on, I can turn it down immediately. So this is really helpful if you're getting into your base late before horde and you're saying, oh shoot, zombies are on my ass. I can just flip that and close it. Or any other reason that you might want to just not have it switch every time you walk over the plates. So let me walk you through all the different paths that this goes. So we're going to come from here to the switch. Then from the switch, we're going to head down to a relay that's right there. And actually, let me pull this out because you'll see everything a little easier. So switch goes to this relay. And the reason I did this is so that you can hide the cabling inside the wall. I'm using some bulletproof glass right now so you can see things a little easier. Do we have more people? Go away. I'm in the middle of teaching people. So this comes from here and goes down and connects to that relay down there. And from this relay, it's going to come straight across, connect to this motion sensor. And then that motion sensor is going to carry us across to the other one. And that gets our chain control. So that's 3 control agents. We've got the switch on the wall, we've got motion sensor 1 and motion sensor 2. So that means that if either motion sensor is triggered, so I can use this one too, step in and out, it's going to cause this to roll up. So from once you get done with that motion sensor, everything after that is going to be powered. So what I did here is I had 2 lights on the side. So these are powered up. And then I chain from those directly across the two lights on the other side so that you get these grates lighting up. And then additionally, in this case, well, we've got the SMG turret that I'll explain, but I had one of the chains from here go from the light across to this relay. And again, I keep this in line with the door because in order to connect to the door, you have to connect to this top left corner if you're looking from the outside. And so it's going to come from here. And then you can see I also took another chain off of that one because this is all going to power up. So you notice this one is unpowered, but once you kick in this light here, you're going to notice we've got power also going to the SMG. So whatever type of creativity you want to get, you could add in after the fact, and all triggered by either of those motion sensors going off. Okay, to dive right on into the build for this, I've done the typical checkerboard, which I think y'all are used to seeing if you've seen my videos in the past. And what I've done is labeled this from the center point from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out so that you have a reference as I'm looking at this. So the areas in blue and purple are the areas that I recommend carving out. And if you notice, I go down about 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll probably want to go down 5 blocks so that you can actually place blocks along the bottom. But I would probably just carve out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5 by 9. Just carve out this whole section is probably the easiest way. And then carve out an additional little section here to the side, an additional however much you want to go. And you'll see once we hook this all up, it's totally up to you. And a lot of this is optional of how you actually set this up at the end. So first things first, we're going to start over with our power and we're going to get a door placed in here first. So I'm going to switch these back over to regular blocks. We're just going to face that one and copy a shape. We're going to fill these back in for right now across the top. And we're going to get a door placed here. So the door is going to be right in the center here where these are. So 1, 2, 3. Here's going to be, and then the door is 5 by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is the frame for our door that we should be able to place down now. Now, we won't know till we hook up the electricity which way the door is facing, and typically I get this wrong. It's like plugging in a USB. You know, you're going to get it wrong. Oh, it's going to argue with that. It wants to have a block the whole way across. So we'll go ahead and put that one there. And then we'll drop it right on in there. And we'll correct that if we need to after the fact. So very important that you have a land claim block before you place this. That way you can pick it back up if you need to. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a switch on the wall over here like we did on the other one. Or we put it, a little bit to the side there. We can do that. So we'll come right here, a couple down there, and throw a switch on the wall here. All right. And then we're going to connect from our power source up to this. And then we need a place to be able to hook that up to. So I'm going to switch these over real quick. Hold down R to get your advanced menu. And then in here, just type ladder. Make sure you don't have anything selected. Doesn't matter what type of ladder you use, but slap a few ladders along the side here. This will make your life easier. I always recommend just starting 2 up. You can always jump and grab the ladder, but if zombies fall down, keep them where you want them. Oh, and here's our, get rid of our mess that we made there. So underneath where the door is going to be, you want to go about 1 or 2 back. And you can play with this to get it right. And you can always use just frame shapes when you're building. So we're going to come from here. We're going to grab the power off of that light switch. We're going to come back down here and connect it. And then we just want to check that we're not seeing that. Make sure it's not visible. And that gives you that nice illusion of, you know, this is just magically attached to the wall with nothing connecting it. And you could do the same thing with the battery bank so that you hide it as well. Okay, from here, we're going to want to make sure we have some blocks. We're going to copy shape again. So come in here, copy shape. We're going to close this off and this off. We're going to close off the other side now. Actually, we can close off the top as well because Not gonna need those. And then once we're here, we're gonna place our motion sensors, and we're gonna put one on this side, and we're gonna have it facing, this one's gonna be the one facing inside your base, and then flip around on the other side here. We're gonna rotate this one this way, and that's gonna face the outside of your base. So we're gonna follow this chain here. We're gonna come from this relay to this motion sensor, connect to this motion sensor to your other motion sensor right here. And then we're gonna put in those lights, and it doesn't matter really where you put these. You can just slap them in wherever you want, put them on the sides if you want. Do that. One there, one there, one there, and for symmetry, we're gonna end up closing this off up here. So let's just do that. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna leave the 3 spaces open there and close that off there. All right, so there's our other light. So now logically, the way this is gonna work, power is gonna flow through to there. As long as that's on, it's going to trigger the 2 motion sensors from this one to this one, and then anything after this chain will be triggered. So we can come from here, and when this motion sensor is triggered or the other one, it's going to cause this to go off. So I'm going to bounce to these, and then to make it easy and keep everything hidden in the walls, we're going to come straight across and connect from this one to that one. Keeps that cable hidden in the wall nicely. Same thing, we're going to pull this one back to here. And then lastly, since we can go from there, you can go back a few spaces here. This top section probably shouldn't be filled in. I would fill that in just so that you have more. I would fill this top section in too, because you don't want zombies beating through there. But then slap yourself a relay anywhere along here is fine. And again, we're going to come off. We're going to use this last motion sensor as the final output in the chain. We're going to connect from here to here. And then from this one, we're going to connect this. Connect up, jump around, and connect to there. Now we'll kind of know if this works here, because we can come and turn this battery bank on. We have power supplying. Now I don't have these set yet, so let's get these set to power delay. We want actually to be instant. Triggered for these, I typically do about 15 seconds, but you know, you do you. So right now it's saying you must power it. We don't have this switched on. So if we switch it on, now we can see the yellow 5-watt indicators on. So we'll come into the camera preview, and we're just going to angle it straight up. That way, when we're coming, in this case, from the inside, it'll get that angle. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to, again, do the duration back to 15 seconds. And then we're going to do the preview facing straight up towards the outside. So now when you come into that cone, you'll see that we placed this backwards, which I do at least, 80% of the time, even though it's a 50-50. So now I know I can reverse it and drop it in. And then we have to just rewire that last chain that's going to come from here back up to here. Did I really get it wrong twice? Oh my gosh. All right, we'll try it one last time. I believe in this. Fire it from here. I wish there was a clear indicator on the door that lets you know. There we go. And now it's coming towards the inside, which is my preference. So the last thing that I did across these is I put in the security grates. So if you come in here, just type in SEC, you'll see these awesome grates. I have been loving these and using these a lot. So just pull the security gate plate and then rotate advanced. Doesn't matter which way you do it. Get it in there like that. and that camera will see straight through that. And then lastly, if you wanted to add into this, that last bit of the chain, we had the SMG turret that I showed on the other side. You could have that hanging out here facing back at the door, just like that, and you just pop some ammo in it. And then just quick wire, you can use that same relay that you had hooked up for the door. So grab that, come back across, hook it up, and you can see it's powered. So we can come in, we added that ammo, we'll lock it up. Preview, it's facing back towards the door. And now we have the full functionality of everything that we had before. So the door is closed. We can do our same scenario where we've got some Arlene's or whoever else, hop in our vehicle, allow them to move again, drive into our base, and you can see our lights come on. Our SMG starts triggering, and it will deal with Arlene for us. Except for this one, she's sneaky, she went around. So that is the setup, folks. And you can do this with lots of different door entrances. You could do this something similar in a smaller profile for a vault door, so that you could have a simple way as you approach your vault door, it would let you in. But in that case, you could also just do the trigger plates. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could play with this. So if you have any other questions on this one, please hit me up in the comments. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed this, folks. Eko's out.